Okay, so in the ninth step promises, it begins by saying, if we're painstaking about this phase of our development, we will be amazed before we're halfway through. A powerful sentence, because some people have said that word painstaking means meticulous. And yeah, it does. I can see that. But when I read it as taking pain. And, if I'm willing to take the pain of everything up to that point, such as looking at myself, you know, hell, even just trying to get over I'm not God and turning my will and my life over to the care of God, that requires a certain degree of discomfort, because now I'm going to have faith in something that I'm not quite sure of, which brings on fear. Fear, of course, has its own pain involved with it. But working on my fourth step, digging deep, sharing it with somebody else, I know of zero people who said, "Oh yeah, when I was doing that, I had these warm fuzzies all the way through." No, they were uncomfortable. They were distressed. They had fears. They had uh, they had pain, especially having to relive some of the dirtbag shit of their life. Uh, because really, there's only two things that go on to that fourth step: things done to me, things I did to others. And when it comes to dealing with the eighth step, going around and making amends, swallowing the pride. Oh my God, that hurts. And trying to make things right. It may hurt financially if you owe money. It may hurt romantically if the purpose of it is not to hurt others, but to make things right. So I've got to take pain. There's no way, absolutely no way, that I could have done all the shit that I did my entire life and hurting others and not have some comeuppance on my end of it. You know, AA is not a get out of jail free card. That you just play and hey, I don't have any consequences to suffer. You know, so I do have to take pain. But if I take that pain, right, and I've got this higher power, God, that has seen me through these particular phase of my development, I'll be amazed. Because I'll have an internal feeling that something is better than what it was. Uh, it's life altering. You can't change your life without there being some kind of pain involved with it. That's just basic math. But I did bring up one time about that, before I'm halfway through. It's like, well, halfway through what? Halfway through the ninth step? You know, you could read like that. It could be halfway through steps 1 through 9, which is 4.5. And a lot of people I've talked to have said that when they were working on their fourth step, right, that 4.5, when they're starting to hit that third column, that they noticed something different about the way they were seeing things. You know, and they started having a feeling that things were going to be okay. And they were amazed before they were halfway done with their fourth step. But anyways, so the ninth step, is it talking about in this phase of our development? Because I developed into an asshole over the course of 41 years. A drunken person that didn't care too much about others, who wanted a better life but didn't know how to attain it, and or earn it. So, to some degree, I would take my happiness from the happiness of others, and so I'm developing into a new person. So, is that what they're talking about when I'm starting to work 4.5? And that is phase of development. You know, so I don't know. I've asked, and some people have said, well, that's just a stupid question. It's like, well, there are no stupid questions in AA, except how much Jack could Jack Daniels Jack if Jack Daniels could Jack Daniels? That's a stupid question. But I've asked it. The you know, I don't think that Bill and the other people of the first 100 wanted me to follow this blindly. They wanted me to ask questions. They wanted me to dig deeper. They wanted me to seek, answers to my questions. You know, that's why they ask so many questions in the big book for me to ask myself. You know, even when talking about, you know, if you find once you start drinking, you can't stop, or, you know, you sit there and you think about it all the time, you're probably alcoholic. You're not coming out and telling me I'm an alcoholic. It's for me to decide. So I've got to ask myself a lot of real questions. And, you know, but it's the amazement. You'll be amazed before you're halfway through. Well, how will I be amazed? And incidentally, that is a promise. You will be amazed before you're halfway through. We'll know a new freedom and a new happiness. I knew what it was like beforehand. I knew an old bondage and misery. You know, I'll know serenity and I'll know peace. You know, at the time I couldn't even spell serenity, and peas just went well with carrots. And I can go down the list of all the promises, and I knew exactly what the opposite of those were. So as they started to materialize in my life, the promises, just the ninth step ones, and I started seeing better things happening for me, that I was actually seeking is God consciousness, because God will suddenly realize, that He's doing for me what I couldn't do for myself. That blew me away. You know, I think a lot of times people, when they're looking at the ninth step promises, you know, they don't see them, but they appear all over the place. Like when I've had a rough day, I'm like, fuck this, I'm going to a meeting. As soon as I turn on the street that the meeting is going to happen, the meeting house, whether it's my home group or elsewhere, man, I feel so much better. You know, wasn't that a new happiness? You know, I know things will be better, once I get there. It's like my home base, my safe spot. So I have that serenity, I have that peace. All these things just seem to happen, but I don't see them that way. So I guess as I work the program, as I start to, um, you know, grow in the program, by the time I get to the ninth step, I can actually appreciate and value all the things that I missed out before on, and I can see these new freedoms and these new happinesses. And this goes for all of them. I'll intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle me. Most certainly, you know, sometimes I hit that panic button, uh, and because it looks just like the solution button, and they're side by side, and I have knee jerk reactions to stuff. But I don't stay in it that long anymore, which is amazing to me. I don't sit there and you know, bite my nails, man. I just seem to already know. Oh man, I got to get on the phone with somebody. That's that intuitive action. And I don't sit here and just start yelling at people for no reason. I sit there and I think about it for a moment before I go and yell at them. But more times than not, I don't yell at them. So these are the things about the ninth step promises that I've observed and experienced myself. If you have any others, feel free to put them down in the comment box. Somewhere down here is a like, share, and subscribe button. Feel free to hit those. And I want you to know that you can do it. Not just hit the buttons, but you can stay sober. Just reach out to people. Call me if you need to. I'll be more than happy to talk to you. And but you can do this. So have a wonderful day, and God bless you.